So Highland Grimes Podcast, I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm Joe from DED.
And we're some questions today about the upcoming album, RESENT. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Thanks. Well, it's been kind of drawn out over some months as we've released like 3 songs now. I think it's cool. Yeah. You know, it's weird. You just make music that you like and then you put it out in the world and then
hope people hear it, you know?
Yeah.
People hear it and then everybody has an opinion this way or that way, especially now that we're in like our 3rd record. People have like an expectation of what you're supposed to sound like, which sucks a little bit. I don't know that I've ever been in a band where I like put out 3 records, you know, so it's always been kind of like, I don't know. So it's interesting. It's fine. The response is fine. I think it's cool. You know, I'm happy that a lot of people are passionate about it. And then, you know, I've had some people say this or that, you know, too, which is also fine. So
yeah.
It doesn't matter. I like it. So that's really the point. So
that's good to hear.
I was going to say that's the main thing. Yeah.
Well, I also like it. I've been following you guys since the debut. So, you know, when I saw the new label signing and everything, my wheels start turning. I'm like, obviously there's more where that came from than just the single. So when the stream popped in our inbox ahead of this, I listened to it immediately and
he was so excited.
It fucking rips. The record's so good. I'm stoked for people to hear it in exactly a month at the time of recording.
Damn straight.
That's amazing. Thank you for saying that. I had a cat earlier who was very nice and everything. And I was like, what do you think of it? You know, just whatever. He's like, oh, it's really heavy. Just kind of punched you in the face. And then that was kind of it. And I was like, all right, I guess.
You know what? Yeah, sure.
I mean, it is heavy. So
yeah,
you know?
I mean, it does do that, but it's a great continuation of what you guys have done previously, but also experimenting in some different sonic spaces that I haven't heard you guys do before, which is dope. I'm curious about the timeline for the record. When you guys started writing it, when you had masters in hand, rough dates, they don't have to be exact, but I just want to get a scope on how long this thing took.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the songs we were writing, it's probably been about 3 years, you know, during the pandemic, I think we started writing, and then we kind of ran into the whole thing that bands run into sometimes with like the label we were on. Everything wasn't great for everybody. They weren't happy, or we weren't, or whatever it was. And then we kind of got stuck for a long time getting out of that. So where we could be with our new home now. And so through that, which was just a not fun time, you know, you just, as a musician, you know, you're not a business person necessarily. I mean, we're business oriented. We know these things, but we just want to make music. We just want to be, you know, artists or whatever, you know, and we just want to put out music and just do what we do. Like, it's like our purpose is like what we love, you know? So that was very frustrating, but I also think that might've fed into some of the music, but then as well as all of the things that we've gone through as a society, as a world in the last 3 years. I don't know that like I have political lyrics, but a lot of the frustration, the album's called RESENT, you know, so it's probably about 3 years of writing. We probably had like 50 plus songs. And then, you know, another 50 just like ideas that we'd start and just throw away because it just wasn't it. So yeah, man. And then now at this point we narrowed it down to these 12, I think it's 12 songs that's on the record. It's so funny. It's like, I don't even know the song order or stuff, honestly. So about 3 years of writing and chiseling away at these songs. And yeah, now we have it.
Gotcha. Hell yeah.
Damn straight. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
So the cover art, I found it online. It was like he has a company called Pre-Made Pixels, and they have pre-made album artwork. And I thought that was a cool way. That's a cool thing that you can do nowadays, where you can go on. And most of it's really just for like singles for like, you know, smaller bands or whatever like it is. But I think, you know, they make a lot of great art. So I was in there snooping around and I found this really cool one. And then we took it and changed it. Our guitar player did some updating to it and stuff like that. So Alex worked on it as well with the gentleman that made the art. It just spoke to me aesthetically. It looked like this person sitting there, kind of like, you know, not non-specific person, just kind of like anyone almost. And he was sitting there and all of this stuff was coming off him. He looked like he was, I don't know. It spoke to me, and visually it looked really cool. I felt like it was a cool visual to go along with the songs. It felt like it lined up with the way that the music sounded to me. And I'm really happy with that because I think it's cool when you hear a song and then you think of the artwork that goes with it. Like there's, that's a really cool thing. And then the album being called Resent, I think I hadn't really thought about it super deeply until I started kind of doing some of the interviews and stuff, and people are asking me, and I think a lot of it is me, my resentment towards kind of the human race in the way that it should be better than it is. And it's just I'm really bummed out with the way that we treat each other. I really try to be a good person in life, and I really like my whole personality is based on that. And then as well as like my portion of why I feel that resentment, as well as like resenting myself. Like there's a lot of introspective things in there of me wanting to be better than I am, wanting to be, a better version of myself, to contribute to my friends and my family, and then the extended world as well. So I just felt like a lot of my lyrics come from that resentment that I hold inside, being maybe sometimes classified as you might call a nice guy. I hold a lot of my stuff inside, and I just try to always project positivity because that's just who I want to be. But that comes out through my music, and so this is my place to do that.
I'm glad you have that outlet.
Exactly.
So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for the album?
Yeah, so we did this one. The guys built a studio in Phoenix. It's called Trash Island, and so we recorded all of it ourselves. Like the last couple records we did the first one with John Feldman, and we did the second one with Kevin Churko. Both ridiculously amazing and talented producers and songwriters and everything. This time we had demoed everything so much ourselves because we weren't getting into the studio. We weren't going into the next recording process like we normally would. Again, we were just held up with everything we were kind of going through. And we just got to the point where we're like, I think this is sick. Like, I don't want to, go and do this with anybody else. I think this is a cool, kind of the most unfiltered version of Dead that I think has gotten out. Like our first record, we had written a bunch of songs, and it was even heavier than it ended up being with John Feldman. Because we ended up working with him, and then it goes through that filter. I've worked with the same thing with Kevin. Like it goes through that filter. Or if we were working with songwriters, this time there's no songwriters, except for a couple of tracks we did that with the guys that mixed our album, but it's mostly just us. So it's just like the truest vision of us and our influences, without having somebody in there. And we're grateful to Feldy and Kevin as well. I mean, I love them both as humans, and we're grateful to have worked with them, but it was interesting this time to just do it ourselves.
Yeah. And I know this record kind of came out of necessity and in terms of self-producing, and it's not even out yet, but just kind of looking ahead, is self-producing something you guys are looking to do in the future? Or is it kind of like we did it and now we're going to go back to the drawing board and working with other people and things like that?
It's kind of hard to say. I think at least partially, like, the first record, there was a lot of it was just the way that it was. Like our demos, pretty much we just turned them into songs. There was a couple that were like that. I don't think we want to like force ourselves into anything, but I think we do enjoy doing it ourselves. And I think we're capable of doing it ourselves. And we see other bands like, I think Bad Omens does like all their own stuff. And there's other bands that do that. And I think it's really cool. I'm not opposed to the idea of, doing the record. We've talked with Zach Jones a bit about doing the next record, possibly with him. But you just have to see like how everything pans out. There's a lot of factors on why you do, this or that.
Absolutely. Makes sense.
Yeah. We're not like taking a hard stance or like, anything.
Yeah.
Kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's fair. So what song off the album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Longest to write, I think for me would have been the song Fuck With It, which I loved. Kyle, I think Kyle wrote that. Our bass player wrote that one. It's really cool in this one. Like everybody wrote songs. Like all of us did. Our drummer Matt wrote. He plays like we all are multi-instrumental. Kyle sent me that one, and it's just like this really slow kind of. The whole thing is halftime, and then it's kind of got like a little bit of like a trappy kind of verse. And I just couldn't think of something interesting for that one. So just forever for that chorus. And then finally, when I got the chorus that I got for it, it just felt really mean and really empowering to me. Gave me like a feeling of, doesn't sound like it, but it gave me a feeling of kind of like when I listen to Hatebreed a little bit, and it's made me feel just like 10 feet tall, and just, it felt great. But that one took me forever to come up with a cool, interesting rhythm for that. I had that for a long time. And my favorite song, it's so hard to say, like, it depends, because I've been listening to it for a while. I've been listening to all these songs for a while.
Right.
You know, I don't know. It's really hard to say. Like, there's a song called Purpose, Be Myself. I think that might be my favorite one at the time. It's the last one we wrote for the record, so maybe it's just because it's the newest one. But
Right.
I just love the lyrics in it. I love kind of the sound that and the influences that kind of went into that one. It makes me think of like Faith No More and Glassjaw and Nine Inch Nails, maybe the three of them, maybe a little bit of Incubus or something. I don't know, like kind of combined. I really love that one, and I just love kind of the lyric to it, and I love just the way that one turned out. Yeah, I really love it. I mean, but you know, you could ask me on any day, and I might say a different song, because I
was gonna say,
I love them all.
It's like picking a favorite kid.
Exactly, but that's the right answer. It's bad if you're like, oh, it's just this one. You know, all the other ones can go fuck off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer, shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
When we were playing Sonic Temple, we sat down at catering, eating lunch, and we all talked about it wasn't a long thing.
Doesn't sound like it.
Got it over lunch, I think, one day.
Very casual.
Yeah, it was. And we talked about the song Wasted being the first song, and everybody was like, yeah, dude, that's sick. That's a cool first song. All right. And we just, you know, there's a couple other things that we went over, but I think I kind of said this, and everybody said this, and we're all kind of like, cool. And I think it is because we just really all enjoy all of the songs. So like, it could be a different order and I'd probably still love it. You know what I mean? So, and then we thought to put the last track last because it has Chris Motionless on it, and that had already been released. And it's just kind of like this really crazy kind of, I don't know what it sounds like, System of a Down and Lamb of God or something combined, or I don't know what, you know, to me, that's what it sounds like. And I think it's like, you know, like a short song. I just thought it'd be cool to just put like a sick banger at the end of the record, just have it be like, just like super fast, thrashy circle pit song at the end. And then it's also cool because it has Chris on it. So we thought, not to disclose too much, I don't know. We thought, oh, it's cool, Chris is on it, so people are going to go listen to it anyway. You know, if they go to the album, they're going to say, you know, oh, the features, I want to listen to the one with Chad, I want to listen to the one with Danny, and I want to listen to, you know. Yeah. So I think that's how we chose. There was no like super huge like Coheed and Cambria, like, you know, like laid out autobiographical idea. It was just like, this feels like a vibe, let's go with this, you know.
Yeah, you're not building a concept. It's just, does it sound good?
Yeah, just didn't overthink it. We were like, cool, we like every song on here. Let's try to keep some of the melodic stuff spaced out. Let's keep some of the heavy stuff, you know, so it's not just like this or like this, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Easy enough. And would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Over those 3 years, it's hard to say. That's a lot of different headspaces. It was time, yeah. Just coming out of the pandemic was some of it. And then some of it was, you know, 5 months ago. When we finished it. So it's a long it's a long drawn out headspace. You know, for 3 years, you think of how much you change and grow or whatever it is, you know. It's hard to put my finger on a particular headspace, but I think it's always introspective. It's always trying to be positive while being negative at the same time. That's just who I am, I think. I'm a perfectly mixed pessimist and optimist at the same time. You know? Yeah, so it's hard to say exactly, but you know, just my headspace, wherever my head is at. And then for the guys too, you know, I think for them, as for their influences with writing the music, you know, they were listening to all kinds of stuff, whether it be pop stuff with cool rhythms. Kyle's way into that kind of stuff, top 40 stuff sometimes, and then they're listening to like, you know, Throne and super heavy stuff too. So, and then, you know, I'm listening to what I'm listening to. So, you know, we're always kind of, over those years. I mean, it's 3 years, think of all
Yeah.
the music, all the movies, all the things that you indulge in and bring into yourself. I think that all affects what comes out of you, so it's
Mhm.
really hard to pinpoint it, but
Just
good and bad,
Yeah.
There you go. Good and bad.
gray area,
Hell
not,
yeah.
not a lot of black and white, a lot of gray, because
Mhm.
life is mostly gray area. Seems like to me.
Fair
Absolutely.
enough.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you in the car with friends, in dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
However you like to listen to music, I would say, like if you like to listen to music in your car, if you like to listen to it at the gym, if you like to listen to it, you know, uh, if you like to smoke a little bit and put some headphones on, chill with it, like whatever you're into, that's how I want people to listen to it. Nothing abnormal. But I would love for people to listen to really sit down and listen to it, maybe read the lyrics along with it, like how you used to listen to a record, like back in the day when you get a CD or a vinyl or whatever you got. I'd love for that. I don't expect that though, I'm sure it's going to just be on Spotify or whatever.
On
And
Spotify, on someone's cell phone somewhere,
yeah,
missing 90% of the music. Yeah.
Phone speaker. That's how Shane listens to music, by the way.
Not this record, I promise.
Not this one. Cool.
No.
I mean, I'm guilty of it too in ways, but not for special bands for me. For certain bands, I'm like, I want to sit and indulge in this, whatever band that is.
Set aside time.
What's that?
Oh no, just setting aside time. I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. For bands that you really care about, that you feel you might really be affected by it. Because I even did it the other day. I listened to 21 Pilots has like a new-ish song out, not the newest one they just put out, but God, I can't think of the name of it. I listened to it on my phone, like fucking like a whatever. I listened to it on the phone. I was like, oh, that's all right. And I listened to it the other night in my headphones. I was like, yo, this song is sick,
Yeah,
dude.
that's fair.
And it was just, it's just a bummer that we do that a little bit, but I came back to it and gave it another shot and in the correct way, and that was cool, so.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you miss so much without headphones. There's so many layers. It's so much. Sorry. Anyway, I'm a big headphones person. I fucking
Totally like you got like over ears.
Yeah, come on, man. And I have another pair of JBLs on the side. I just walk around. That's just how I consume music, just all the time.
Yeah, I got the heavies, which are sick, and I
Oh.
got a pair of JBL 720s or something. I love kind of listening to stuff on different headphones too, actually, to just kind of hear different vibes. So
Yeah, I've been looking into those heavies, honestly, and I'm considering it. I'm considering upgrading for my JBLs to see comparing them. Do you think there's a difference? Is it noticeable enough to switch?
It is, and it just depends what you prefer. But I really love them because there's a real crisp clarity to it, but it still slams.
Yeah.
Which in my JBLs, it's more just slams. It's got this really full, thick, round sound to it. I lose some of the clarity, and so I also used the different headphones when we were mixing our record to listen to it in different headphones, so I could hear. Okay, I couldn't hear this and that, that kind of thing. We put that time in, so.
Exactly. Fair enough.
I would suggest the heavies though, for sure.
Okay, I gotta peep them then. I gotta peep them. All right. And this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
I don't. What do people say to this?
It's really, some people just say like really fucking awesome, and others go into like sonically kind of what listeners can expect from it. So it's
We leave it open-ended on purpose because we know we're literally putting you on the spot to describe the 3 years of music that you worked on in 3 words. So good luck,
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can. Yeah, like 3 words. I can't even think of like a stupid sentence in 3 words. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. There
you go. I don't know. Listen for yourself.
Check it out. Yeah, check it out. Yeah. Listen to it.
All right. So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
Yeah. Well, I don't want them to have anything. I want them to listen to it and digest it. What I want is like a fair listen. If I could ask for something, is a fair listen and listen to it, and then don't judge it by a song or two and then think, oh, this whole thing's super heavy, or you listen to a different song and you say, oh, this whole thing sounds like this. I think we really integrated all of our influences on it Um, from like metalcore to new metal to there's some thrash on there, which we'd never done before. There's like punk in there. There's electronic industrial stuff. Like there's like hard rock, like, melodic rock stuff. So I think like really hearing the whole thing is a broad scope of influences in there. So I would hope people would just listen to the whole thing and really give it a cool shot, give it a jam through, and then whatever they want to receive, however they receive it is fine. That's what art or music or anything is supposed to be. It's just, it's whatever however it hits you is cool. Like I hope that I guess in an ideal world it would empower people. It would make them think a little bit about themselves and make them think about who they are and what they're doing with their life, and it would make them want to be the best version of themselves. I mean, I hope for that, and it empowers them to get up and live without fear getting in the way of themselves and that kind of shit. So but I mean that's a tall drink to ask for, I think, but I just or it just inspires them to work out, or inspires them to just do whatever, like I need music for that. I need music to inspire me to get out of bed some days. I need it to get through this or that. It still saves my life all the time.
Absolutely.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of the album, positive or negative?
You know what? The whole thing, making it with the dudes, it was really fun. I think we had a lot of fun. So I don't know that anything was like difficult. Maybe narrowing it down to the songs that we picked. Like we all fought over that a little bit because there was a lot of songs. But I think it was just a pleasure and working with everybody. And I feel like I was proud of everybody when they were turning songs into me. I remember there were some times I would just hear the music they gave me and I would just start laughing. Like I just thought it was the sickest shit. So I'm really proud of everybody in the band for putting their best foot forward and for trying new things and that kind of thing. So I wouldn't say it was difficult at all. Like it was a pleasure and it was fun. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons I like it so much is it wasn't easy per se, but it was a pleasure, so
Good.
yeah, nothing dawns on me that was like that was hard or anything. Yeah.
That's good to
That's
hear.
good to hear. Yeah.
And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music. So if you could be one animal for the rest of your life, what animal would you be and why?
I would be a great white shark. I love sharks. I used to watch Jaws almost every day when I was little growing up, and
Yeah.
I just love sharks. I think they're just incredibly amazing. They've been around for forever, like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're the coolest shit, and they're an apex predator. Although I guess orcas can kill them, but I just think sharks are just so sick. I have like Jaws tattooed over here on my
Oh,
arm,
that's
That's
badass.
dope.
Yeah.
traditional one on my elbow. So yeah, it's just my favorite animal.
Good
Hell yeah.
pick.
Yep.
And if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
There's a lot of them. Can I pick a dead one and an alive one?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
I would love to have lunch with Kurt Cobain. Uh, I just think he's just the shit.
Yeah.
Love to. I just stick it with musicians. Of course, like having lunch with like Uncle Denzel Washington or Keanu Reeves would be super fun too.
So fucking dope.
But
Yeah, both of them.
just like and just take all their wisdom and just be better from it. But I think I really would love to hang out with like Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, possibly.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. That'd be really cool.
Agreed.
That'd be
Hell yeah.
fucking dope.
And for this last question, boom, you're on Desert Island. You can bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you bringing?
The album I would bring would be because I've had this conversation. My life is like I don't know if you guys have ever seen High Fidelity before. It's a
I
movie
don't
with
think so.
John Cusack. It's him and Jack Black, and they just kind of hang out in a record store and just talk about top 5 things. That's like what I wanted my life to be for forever when I was growing up. So I thought about this, but yeah. So Bob Marley, Natural Mystic, would be the record I would bring with me. I think I could listen to that forever on repeat. What was the other ones? It was a movie and
a person.
And a person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would bring Maria Brink with me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
My love would come.
Okay.
Can we bring our dogs?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can stuff them in the suitcase, you know.
Yeah.
If we didn't bring the dog, she wouldn't come. But
It's fair enough.
Movie. I'd want it to be like a comedy, I think, because I think comedies you can watch over and over and over and over, because they make you laugh. That's so hard for me to pick a movie that I would watch over and over again. It would either be The Burbs or The Lost Boys. It'd be one of those two, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
We
right.
watch The Lost Boys like almost like definitely every week, at least a couple days a week. So
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
No, just thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I remember you guys being awesome the last time we did this. And
Thank you.
no, just check out the record. Thanks a lot. And we got a tour coming up with In This Moment and Dayseeker and The Funeral Portrait in the fall. And we're going to be at Louder Than Life, which our record comes out the day that we play Louder Than Life, which is really cool. And then we're going to be touring a bunch more next year. We got a lot of things. We're locked into a bunch of the festivals, and we'll be doing other tours and stuff. So
hell yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. It's been Joe from DED, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.